Hello everyone, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm, where my addiction's all over the internet. So in this video, on this channel, I do book hauls, book reviews of both digital and physical media, audiobooks, and so much more. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Trump's newest executive order. Not so new, it's been about a couple of days or something like that, to dismantle the agency responsible for sending money to libraries across America, and the effects that it is going to have, and not just libraries but also museums. So it is called so this is from Good E-Reader. They do have a YouTube channel where they do a lot of reviews and stuff. The Institute of Museums and Library Services will be dismantled, and federal funding for libraries will cease, preventing loans across multiple libraries. Most rural and small-city libraries depend on federal funding to offer audiobooks and ebooks through Libby, Cloud Library, and Hoopla. Digital loans will likely cease, and only the big cities will continue to provide them as local taxpayer powers libraries. All right. So, one of and I remember all those videos that people were doing about when Trump won, about how they were all about reproduction and about immigration and all that stuff, and not a single one of them talked about possible removal of funds from libraries. These are book talk girlies that love to talk about books as being political, which I already knew they were. But not a single thing about libraries, not a single thing about librarians, not a single thing about authors, not a single thing about this, not a single thing about that. All it was about immigration, women's rights, blah, blah, blah. Alright. Now, let me be very clear about it. I do worry about immigration, about people that are trying to come over here, like people did over 100 years ago, trying to escape religious intolerance and starvation and all that stuff, and how we welcomed them with open arms and all that jazz. But if you go and you look at what they cared about the most, you're like, well, don't you realize that there's a lot more that you should be worried about than what you're saying on TikTok? And this was 2 months before before TikTok was banned for the first time, only for 12 hours and all that type of stuff. And it's like, alright, why are you not talking about libraries? Why are you not talking about librarians? Why are you not talking about funding for these institutions? Why are you so caught up on it? And I think that they're the only thing that Trump is going to be targeting is women's rights and immigration. There's no way that he's going to be targeting libraries. There's no way he's going to be targeting this, targeting that. That was before we knew about Doge and Elon Musk. Though I will say there was a video of a guy doing something freaky to a Tesla that almost made me throw up. It was bad. I'm not going into it, but it was gross. It was so disgusting, revolting, and made me think of not so many nice things. So anyways, so it says here, Overdrive, Hoopla, Canopy, Zeno, and Cloud Library power the digital collections of every library in America. The more extensive libraries deal with multiple companies simultaneously. They offer audiobooks, comics, ebooks, magazines, and newspapers to patrons who primarily want to read content on their e-readers, smartphones, or tablets. Without federal funding for libraries, libraries won't be able to offer fewer fewer digital offerings or stop them altogether. Some U.S. states will only continue to operate if local government allocates more funding. However, this will likely not happen because most members of Congress are openly hostile to libraries. The book banning phenomenon has never been more prevalent. Without federal funding, many other programs will disappear, including library services for people in prisons, juvenile detention facilities, and psychiatric institutions, summer reading programs for youth, and library services for blind and print disabled. This is a big deal, and it is a shame that libraries in the United States are affected. However, libraries in other countries are not affected by this situation. Libraries and museums are among the country's most beloved and trusted institutions, and all that. Alright. So, this is exactly how you totally ban books. You ban books on every level except for the companies that have spaces to where they can hold large collection of books. And what this is going to do to minority and in poor communities is if you go and you shut down the library, these children will not have access to books. If you shut down Overdrive or Libby or whatever, you have disabled Americans that will not have access to a library. And that is what they want. They want people to be so illiterate that they will accept whatever the government tells them. And what does that remind you of? What does that remind you of? It reminds you of every single institution that is corrupt and in your little dystopian novels. One person commented, not on the article page, but on Reddit, that what they want to do is they want to force people to buy ebooks off of Jeff Bezos, so Jeff Bezos will make more money. I don't really know if that is exactly what they're trying to do, but it is disconcerting, and it is something that would never happened in the past. Never happened. And it is probably, I mean, when you go and start seeing your local libraries shut down, you're going to be like, well, the only way that this is going to be stopped is if you don't vote for the people that want to continue to deprive you of what you want. But yeah, it's a sad state. It definitely is a sad state of things, and it is what people who voted for Trump wanted, because they knew that if you shut down the libraries, that they don't got to worry about children getting their hands on material they don't approve of, because no child will be able to read. It's like, you know. So anyways, I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. It is almost midnight, so I will try to hurry up and get this video up right now, and I'll see you guys next time.